All right. Let's get rolling. Tonight is the regular scheduled meeting for September the 17th, 2019. The meeting is now called to order. Would you like to call roll, please?
Judge Executive Robbie Williams.
Present.
County Attorney.
Present.
County Treasurer David Lane. Here. Master District 1 Mark Crowder.
Here.
Master District 2.
Here.
Master District 3.
Here.
Master District 4.
Here. Mecca, you want to lead us in prayer, please?
Yes, I will. Lord, we thank you for allowing us to gather here today. We just pray that during this meeting that we each do what is best for this community. And Lord, we pray for the Hunt family, for Lindsay's, for his wife Christine, for John, for the rest of the family, Lord. We pray for them for this next few days as they're preparing for that. Lord, we thank you so much for so many blessings that you have given us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We've asked that the flag be lowered to half-staff for the next couple of days in remembrance of Lindsay Hunt, the sheriff's father, passed away. Untimely death. He was a long-time employee of Floyd County. So we will be lowering the flag to half-staff in his honor. Also, the county currently has a burn ban in effect, 0 tolerance, no burning till we get a little rain. Just let's take a few days and use a little caution and don't be burning our trash or wood or whatever we need to burn outside until this blows over or we get some rain come in, because we've already had a couple calls, probably 5 or 6 in the last few days, and we don't want a fire and something get away from us and somebody lose a home or something of that nature or get hurt. So if you can, just please be considerate of others. Also, Bruce Prater has retired. Bruce is a longtime employee of District Number 2. And Bruce, we want to thank you for your service and your commitment to District 2. And everyone that has worked with you has nothing but positive things to say. I only got to work with you a short period of time, but we certainly appreciate everything that you've done. Thank you.
Bruce, come on up, let's get a picture. Least we can do is, yeah. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Bruce, you can give about a 30-minute speech if you want to. We got time.
Appreciate everybody that's been good to me, all the judges, masters, all been good to me, and to the past, never had no problem with nobody about working with them all the years, and worked with a bunch of judges, a bunch of masters.
Well, that's one thing I've always found out about good employees. People know who they are. People appreciate it. And Ms. Prater, we appreciate you as well. Let's see, another issue we discussed in the last meeting was we had a request from the jailer on the raises. We're going to table this issue. This can be resolution number 6. We were going to look at it, but we're going to table that issue until we get, David is going to be working with the jail and working with the road foreman and the magistrates in each district to try to get a plan in place that we can have everyone brought up to have their pay in accordance with the code that was outlined in 2017. So probably be another 30 days, but we had a few changes we was going to make. That's resolution 6, but we're going to go ahead and table it for today. But hopefully David can have that worked out with everyone in the next 30 days.
You wanna table some of that, Judge, and leave some of it on there,
No, we're just gonna wait and table it all for the time being.
and then we'll retro?
We'll probably have a special meeting in a few days to
And
take.
then retro the couple that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
yeah. We'll have a special meeting in a couple of days to get that taken care of.
You need a motion to do that?
Yeah, well, when we get to it, we'll get down there. We'll make the motion to table it. Let's see, approval of the minutes for the last meeting.
Motion.
Second.
You wanna call roll, please?
Master District One?
Four.
Master District Two, George Egley?
Yes.
Master District Three, Mike Tackett?
Yeah.
Master District Four, Ronnie Akers?
All right, next we have the treasurer's report. David, anything to report?
No, they've got it in front of them, other than the fact that we did, receive quite a bit of money, and we got our county road aid in, and then, also got the, additional co-severance funds that the state awarded us, or awarded,
Oh, okay, the 626?
Yes.
Yeah, that's something we need to point out. We got 626,000 that we was not planning on getting in co-severance funds due to the surplus. But, you know, we're in no rush to go out here and spend that money, folks, because as quick as we've earned it, we're already seeing a downturn in the coal business. So, it's gonna help, but, we just need to make sure we spend the money prudently. David, what about the FEMA? Did we get everything caught up on the FEMA?
Yeah, we've got, I think, that's for payment 10,
All 4358, all the 2018.
all of 2018.
Okay. All right, and we're working on trying to get those, Dale, straightened out? Get everything caught up? We're
All
working.
the site inspections for 2019 are done as of.
Okay, and the 2018 we're working on, so we hope to have this stuff caught up. And
We
one-
have 17 projects left,
Okay,
so
and the re,
Of 18 and 19, or just?
just 18.
Okay.
Some of those are drill too. ain't
Yes,
they?
some of them are drilled.
So, just waiting on the drill companies to get, guess we gotta bid it, don't we?
yeah, that's been a slow process, but we're getting caught up on those. And the reason we're getting caught up, folks, is we get too many jobs in the queue here, and FEMA, at some point, they're gonna, if we have something to come up, FEMA say, guys, you have too much land out there in work that's not completed. We can't do anything, so what we need to do is get the work caught up and we don't run into these issues. So that's why I'm trying to make a push the first of the year to have the majority of this work caught up. 911 report.
I think we just covered it.
All right.
What about the signs? Did you,
Signs, I've got a couple I gotta make for you. I've got some of the white blanks, and they're working on the green right now.
so you're gonna be doing them in-house over,
Yeah, I'll be doing them in the house, just I'm waiting on them to make the blanks.
okay.
Jail report, Bear. Anything to report?
I don't have anything, Judge, just on the thing I'd like to mention, especially the magistrates, are on this county work crew. I mean, we need to come up with something, just if District 1 gets first week, District 2 second, I mean, there's gotta be a little more,
Organization.
Something to it.
Okay.
I mean, it's, but I'm fine with that, if they come up with something, whatever, I'm fine with it, and go.
Well, I think what happened, it just kind of got away from everybody that, with the weather, where it rained so much and we couldn't really use the guys there for an extended period of time, and we kind of got out of the groove. So I think that's probably the best thing to do. We take week 1 of the month, District 1. Week 2, District 2. Week 3, District 3.
When did they start?
Well, we started probably around Memorial Day or something, Ronnie, but like I said, it's, the bad thing about summer too, I mean, your Allen Parks come in, your community centers come in, there's so much other stuff that, that comes in and takes away from everybody too, that a lot of people don't, that we don't even do, and that's what becomes a big problem, and I don't think you four know exactly what we do over there, especially in the county and the communities and everything, and I think that's a big problem, especially in the summertime when we try to start this. Wintertime's a little more low key, we lay back on the cemeteries and, all that, we've got a lot more time and things, but summertime is, it's just as crazy as get out, we try to help with parks, we try to help with anything the judges also ask big part of that got caught up in a mess too. I think this way to do, just like I said, week one, if it rains all 5 days, sorry about your luck, we'll week two in the second magistrate. I mean, that's all I know to do.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I mean, we just need to get a routine and stick to it. I mean, if somebody needs them, we're gonna have to wait till they're weak. So, but
I ain't had them yet, so I just wondered when they started.
but we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do it week one, each week by district. I think that's the only way we can be fair, and we're just not gonna pull them off and send them wherever. Okay? Thank you, Bear. Solid waste report.
Okay, Waste Connections is still working on their dumpsters. Now, the only reason I bring that up is because it's a commercial account, but we get the call when there's a problem with these dumpsters and there's garbage falling out the bottom. They're still doing repairs, they're bringing new ones in to distribute to the customers, but that's where they're at with that. The garbage pickup is pretty much on schedule now, where we had talked with them a few months back. They do have a mishap every now and then due to illness or a personal reason. Problem is, one man is off and there ain't nobody to fill in for him. They just can't find employees. That's the bottom line there. I think a lot of companies around here find that out, even the ambulance company. All right. Folks, and I've talked about all this about solid waste. I've went out to 90 different addresses this past month. 50 of them were either empty homes, dilapidated homes, or nothing there. So we was able to just go ahead and get this off the books. 40 I found, and we got the correct name and address of these people, and the people that owe us, we've got them to start paying us what they owe us. There's 40 different residents there out of this 90. So that's pretty good. And believe me, that should have been done years ago. I don't know why it wasn't, but it's my job, I'm doing it. Also had there on the code enforcement complaints, I answered 15. That goes from illegal dumping down to the garbage around the homes, and truthfully, when I ask somebody to clean up around the home, they've been nice enough to do it all over the county. It's a shame that we sort of have to ask them. I know my dad probably whipped me if somebody come and asked me to do it, but that goes back to years ago. But that's happened. Got a couple other projects going on. One is Orange Trade Court, Sally Stevens Branch. It's being tore down. Clean that whole area up. That way the owner, it's at their expense, but was able to get that started. And hopefully it'll be nicer going over to the dog pound and make the whole area a nicer community. Also up here at Mare Creek, mouth of Mare Creek, had a house tore down there. The property owners there again tore that down. I just had to go ask them. So people driving up and down 23 business maybe sees that and says, hey, okay, there's a piece of property, maybe they want to come in and whatever. So those two projects been working good. Our clean team, they worked on Gower Branch, Slick Rock, Cow Creek, Buffalo. They went over here around the battlefield before it got started. Went up 404. They've been a spewing camp, printer, and we also went over to David School and picked up stuff for them that they had, helped them out. Bring this up, I'll bring it up again. Fall cleanup is October 25th, that's on a Friday, all day. October 26th from 8 to 12 on Saturday. And the month of October, we will be losing our clean team for the year because the program runs out. So keep all that in mind, that our boys will be
At the end of October.
somewhere from the middle to the end. Yeah.
So that's folks to understand, that's a grant. We get a 6-month grant each year
Right.
for the crew to come out and pick up trash. And it'll end in October.
Right. Just want to throw it out there because by our next meeting, they'll probably either be getting ready to quit or they might make it to the end there, but to our fall cleanup. But, All right, I'm done.
Hey, Joe, have you all talked to the Waste Connections about maybe getting a couple smaller trucks to hit some of these smaller roads we have and then bringing them out to,
Now, he mentioned he's gonna bring out smaller trucks, bring them from, Hazard. He did mention that to us.
We did. We actually, when we met with him, we discussed the smaller trucks because we figure a large part of our road issues is due to the bigger
these
trucks.
trucks? It is.
Is bigger trucks. Between Waste Connections and the utilities, we can't keep our roads. I mean, that's what's wrong for the Fort Toller.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because of utilities.
See, years ago, they had smaller trucks in the day, and they brought them out to the mouth of the hall, and then they turned into the bigger ones, you know.
Mhm.
But I know expense and things is a big thing, but
I'll talk to him some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd-
that
I'd-
blacktop costs a lot of money.
Well, it'd be nice. The problem we run into with smaller trucks, like you explained to us, is it just, it all comes down to money.
Money, yeah.
More drivers, you have more drivers, more benefits,
Yeah, they're having a tough time getting them.
Getting them anyway,
Yeah, absolutely. Something else I wanted to discuss before we move on is the Fiscal Court. We've been working with the Secretary Snavely in Frankfurt for the last couple months. We've spent a lot of time down there in trying to get money to help out Southern Water District. They had an AML pilot program, and we was awarded $1.5 million for the AML pilot program for Southern Water District. So that money, it's under my understanding, Southern's going to use the money to replace the meters that they currently have and go with the radio read. It's going to take about 6 months for them to implement this new program. But hopefully with the new meters being put in place, those rates will come down. Those folks that have minimum usage and are on fixed incomes, retirees, hopefully those rates will come down when they go back to billing on volume rather than just a flat rate. So we was lucky to secure that money. It's a very competitive process. There was $150 million in applications that was submitted. Of that $150 million, there was only $25 million awarded across the state, and we got $1.5 million of it for Southern Water. So I feel fortunate. They've got a good board. They're doing a lot of the right things. They had a lot put on them, but I think things are going in the right direction. But just wanted to let you all know. Also, last week, we was awarded $670,000 in discretionary road funds. The state came out, they prioritized some of these roads and some of the worst roads we have in the county. Hopefully, we'll get the MOAs that we can start work on these roads here in the near future. But that's something we've worked on as well. And
What about the Flex Fund? Have you heard anything from them yet?
nothing on the flex funds yet, no.
We've already submitted the roads.
Yes, they have been submitted. What, Dale, probably 3 weeks for?
At least 3 weeks
Yeah,
or
yeah.
longer.
Or longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get these. I'd like to get this stuff done before it gets cold because I don't want to put asphalt down when it's cold. I'd rather go ahead and do it while it's warm. It's much better. But also, we got notice from the Department of Local Government on Friday that we got the $100,000 that we applied for the Middle Creek Battlefield. They're going to go ahead and asphalt the parking lot and the trails over there. But just wanted everyone to know some of the things that we have been working on. We don't want you to think that we're coming down here and drawing these big checks and not out here working for them. We are. We're working every day. Next, we have the citizens' comments. We haven't signed up, David. We're going to 2 minutes on the comments, folks. We'll turn these things into marathon sessions, it seems like.
Deanna Mullins, Deanna Mullins.
Come on up, Deanna. Good to see you.
I'm Deanna Mullins, and citizen of Floyd County. And right now, I just kind of want to voice a concern for our county. Our kids are struggling right now, majorly. I substitute teach during the day. I'm in school systems every day. Like today, I was at Floyd Central. Normally, I'm at Dace every day. Once in a while, I'll squeeze in there Floyd Central, but I work every day. So I'm exposed to a lot of kids from kindergarten on up to seniors in high school, and I can see how some of their lives are and how tragic they are. We've got notice in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, that a very important organization in Prestonburg is closing. That was meant for kids, well, teenagers and young adults. And I feel that as a county, we need to work towards getting something like the community center up and running, so these kids have something, because I feel like they don't have, and I hate to say it, but they don't have anything. They don't. That's what it comes down to. These kids are struggling, you know, some are struggling just to get to school. Some of them, you know, just need a little help. And the school systems are only allotted so much money too. They can only do so much. After school programs would be something that this community needs. And I'm hoping with things getting moving that we can be able to do something like that, because it is desperately needed. You know, 9 weeks is already over with the kids. Progress reports came home last week and earlier this week, and kids are struggling. And I'm a working mom, my husband works, you know, it's hard squeezing in that little extra time, but when we can have an organization organized and ready and have all these adults and high school students that are wanting to come in and tutor kids who just need a facility to do it in, it's hard to look at these kids and be like, I'm sorry, you know, we can't give you an hour or 2 hours of tutoring today for free, because we have nowhere to do it then. And, you know, I'm hoping some decisions can be made or opportunities can be given to these kids that need it desperately. And that's just kind of, I wanted to voice my opinion, because I kind of have stayed quiet the last few ones I've just kind of asked. But after having that facility close, or going to be closing, it's going to take a bigger hit, especially for these teenagers that actually use that facility. And a lot of them from Floyd Central used it, you know.
Well, we're working on the community center every day. There's people up there every day working on it, so we're pushing. We're trying to get it open. I think George can tell you. George is a big part of it. We're up there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I go up there first thing in the morning, and I'll probably be there at 9 o'clock tonight locking it up. And George can tell you. If George don't stop and lock it up, I'll go up there and lock it up, because there's people up there working every day. And I promise you, when this thing's finished, it'll be something everybody will be proud of. It's going to be something we just haven't patched it. We fixed it 100%. This thing's going to last for 20 years. And I went to Knott County to a junior pro basketball game last week. I would say there was 150 people there from Floyd County. Their kids up there playing. So trust me, I understand the importance of it. We not only want to have the basketball facility, we've got the volleyball. We're putting the volleyball nets up. We've got the flooring. The floor is going to hold us up a little because of the grant and the way this is flows. But we certainly hope in the next couple months we'll have everything ready to go, and I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised at how nice it's turned out. We painted the outside, we painted the inside, the flooring looks good, new restrooms. We're going to have the facilities in the front office to do the after-school program. The office that Chris Wall had is going to be a workout room. We're going to have bicycles, elliptical trainers, things in there with a couple of televisions. When mom and dad brings their kids up to practice ball or play ball, they can go in there and work out for free. In the front office, we're going to have some computers with some after-school stuff, and we're also going to have a food pantry because we have 3 housing projects there in the community. So we're going to also attempt to have a food bank that we can help out. So we're not going into this blindly. We're working every day on it. It's just turned into actually a little more than what we thought. We thought we could go in and paint it, but once we got in there and we saw the problems that they were having, if we just went in and painted the walls and tried to piece it back together, we're just wasting the taxpayers' money. So we had to pull the walls out. There was 0 insulation. We had to put new pipes in. We had to blow insulation in the walls and put everything back together again, but it's fixed. It's fixed right, and I think everybody will be proud of it once complete. But it is a slow process to do it.
With the basketball programs, that the huge difference right now. My younger 2 girls, not my youngest 2, my 9-year-old and my 8-year-old. Sorry, my 8-year-old and my 6-year-old plays for the little K through 5 team. When you look at our K through 5 team at Duff, and you know these coaches are doing an amazing job. But you can, when you look at them, and then you look at a team that we play, like Prestonsburg and things like that, who have an established junior pro program compared to us, where there's not a close program unless you go to, you know, not Central, you can tell a huge difference in the ability of these kids, and you can honestly tell who has money,
Mhm.
to be honest. Because anything that's offered over that way that we have, you have to pay $15 every session.
Mhm.
And with like the junior pro programs, these kids, you pay one flat fee, usually was for your shirt, and that was it. You pay for your shirt and a little bit for insurance. But, you know, they got practices, they got to, you know, improve their, you know, technical and fundamentals, and you can tell a huge difference. And I think that's a huge thing that I hope we can bring to there, is not costing an arm and a leg to teach kids fundamentals like
Mhm.
it's been doing. And I think that's what's happened too with the sports students, like a lot of kids can't afford it no more.
Yeah, oh, I agree. It's expensive, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
everything today costs someone somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Taxpayers or somebody has to pay it. If you go in that gym, we have to have insurance. Our insurance alone on that facility is probably gonna run us, once we put the event insurance on the facility, not just the general liability, the insurance alone is probably gonna run us $20,000 a year. That's just the insurance. Utilities, probably another $20,000 a year. I mean, it's unfortunate, but hopefully what we can do is we can defer and offset some of those costs and when people use the facilities. And that's one of the things we're going to do, is try to set it up that we can do rentals and things of that nature to defer some of those costs. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to fix it up. Now, we've already got people that's called wanting to book the facility for events. And we haven't even got it in place yet after the first year. So, but I appreciate you coming out and your concerns. We're working on it, and hopefully we'll have everything ready to go here in a short time. Thank you.
Mr. McKinney, Mark?
Mr. McKinney, come on up. Missing you. We need to hear from you. Hey, we got some good news on the left fork of Toller. They got money appropriated out of the $670,000 to get the left fork fixed.
When you gonna go to fix it?
Well, as soon as they send us the check, we'll be there.
Wish I had it now.
But that was, Ronnie, you got anything you want to add? I mean, that was
I'm
one
waiting on
of
the
the,
money. We're waiting.
The governor named that one. is that what you're saying?
that's one of the roads they named, Left Fork of Toller was on the list. Yes, sir.
We've been
Money
up there
any
the
day
last
now.
couple days ditching and putting some pipe in, fixing a couple breaks.
You've been up there the last few days, ain't you?
Last 2 days, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
hopefully.
You'd holler at it, come over and help you, son. You'd holler at me, I'd have done it.
They got it, they got it.
Yeah, but, I might have had a steak dinner later on.
Yeah, we
We've
eat
done
a
enough
bologna
work.
sandwich. We eat a sabloni sandwich. We all right.
Later on, we went and had a steak dinner.
There you
No,
go.
so you're gonna sure get to it.
As soon as we get we gotta wait and get the contract from the state to move forward. As soon as we get that, we'll be up there. Hopefully they get it to us early enough this year that we can go ahead and get the
Oh, yeah.
asphalt put down this year, because when it starts getting cool, I'm not gonna let them asphalt.
No, you can't. I
Yeah,
mean, you get too
yeah.
cold.
Well, it's difficult enough for us to get the asphalt, for us to go out and put it down and it's cold and it don't stick. So,
How long will it take to do that? Day?
Ron,
What's
how
that?
long did it take to asphalt that road
Day.
up there?
Hey.
Couple days?
No, shoot, it'd take probably, well, it's according to who the contractor.
Yeah, that's a long road, isn't it? That's almost 2 miles, isn't it?
Well, 3 miles, a little over 3 mile line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're looking at a couple, 2 or 3 days
Well, I
once we
figure
receive
At
it.
least day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as soon as we get the contract, we'll be moving on it.
So you got, how many more drains you gotta put in up there?
I don't know, we're still up there.
Yeah, still coming up in there.
But once they get started, I'll call you and you'll have to stay home. You won't be able to get out, okay, till they get
Well,
done.
I'll stay up there and help you, I'll help you around there. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Do whatever you need to do down.
All
There
right.
you go.
Be done there, sure will. Yeah, but what about now? I wonder, Judge, I've got water outfit. My brother there, he lives alone, and you know, this one guy don't use much water. and, his bill was about $80-some, just on a little monthly check there. And, here they raised that on him, and they're talking about raising it again. Are there anything you can do about that, or who got see it?
Now, I don't know that there's another rate increase that I've heard of that they're having in the near future, no. I mean, because they have public hearings on that in Frankfurt through the Public Service Commission. They can't just go in and say, we want to raise the rates. They have to send in an application, and there's hearings in Frankfurt. So I haven't heard that there's going to be an additional rate increase, but what happened was the Public Service Commission put on Southern Water an order of $58 a month, a flat fee, because there were so many meters that didn't work or were reading, they weren't accurate. So they just said the only way we could be fair is to put a flat fee on everyone. Well, what happened was you take folks like your brother that's probably using the minimum amount of water each month, and it raised his bill from $32 to $58, and then you take somebody that was paying $100 a month, and it's lowered their bill down to $58. So there's no fairness in it, but that's the reason we went and got the $1.5 million that we got, that we can get these meters put in, so Southern can get the meters put in the next 6 months.
Your own meter there? No.
Well, it's just like anything. It's just like putting gas in your car. You know, you pay for what you use, and that's the way it should be with the water. You shouldn't have to pay for what you don't use.
Right.
So hopefully, when they get those meters put in, it'll take about 6 months, and they can get those rates back down, that these folks on fixed income and the elderly, it'll help them out.
Wow.
But they appreciate, the folks at Southern, they appreciate people's patience. They've been through a lot. They understand what's happened. But, the board that's in place now, this was laid in their lap. They inherited this. When we took over here, from day one, I thought, well, I'm not going to deal with Southern for 6 or 8 months. I have too many other things I have to address. It wasn't 6 or 8 months. It was 6 or 8 hours. They were $200,000 in the hole.
Well, yeah.
We had to loan them $150,000 to make payroll to keep the doors open. So when the board resigned and the new board took over, that's what they inherited, and these guys have done a good job.
When you used to come in, everything was cleaned out, right?
When they yes.
No money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I know.
And but like I said, this board they've done a really good job trying to turn things around. We got a group of professionals. They're not yes men. They go in, they ask all the right questions. They don't always agree on everything, but you have smart individuals, and that's what it takes. So I think you're in good hands.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. Good to talk to you.
Green dollars in stuff, and get us paid and squeeze again.
We will. Thank you. Good to see you, Mr. McKinney.
Appreciate it. I ain't forgot the steak. I'll still owe you the steak.
All right. Thank
I'll owe
you.
you the steak when we get there.
Anyone else, David?
Southern repaid that 150 back.
Yes, and Southern has repaid the $150,000 back to the fiscal court. Just wanted to make a note of that. Anyone else had comments, David?
No, that's it.
That was it?
Is that in the treasury report?
It's probably could be in August. This is, September's money. I was deposited in September.
So it'd be next month.
Okay.
What's your name?
My name's Donald. I wanted to talk, bring up a subject in regard to the wildlife that's got to do up there. I mean, this is a Floyd County thing, and it is between Pikeville and Floyd County. There's a pack of coyotes up in there or whatever. I mean, these are big animals. There is a numerous number of panthers been seen up in there, not counting mountain lions and stuff like that right there and stuff. And I mean, this is the real deal. People got them on camera and everything and whatever and all that. And there's a lot of people and kids that they get out after dark and stuff and everything, whatever. And there's an issue. I mean, it's just a matter of time. I mean, they're actually killing dogs right now, and they're making away cats too and everything, whatever. And people wonder what's taking care of all this stuff. This taking care of it, whatever. I mean, I've actually seen one go around my hill, and I've seen it on my bank and everything, whatever. And I was wanting to address the court about that right there, about what could be done about it, or what should be done.
What you probably need to do is contact Fish and Wildlife on that. That's not anything that we get into, coyotes and that stuff. That's a little out of our league.
Joey, might get Joey, can you go?
Yeah, you can contact the state Department of Fish and Wildlife. They'll send out their wardens and their conservation officers, which are all trained how to work boats and for deer hunting, things like that, you see them. And they'll come out, look for them, and if they see where they're at, they'll set traps to get them out.
Problem you run into on these coyotes is they're everywhere now. I mean,
Yeah.
the coyotes have, I live down here in town, Prestonsburg, and there's coyotes everywhere. We have cameras, and the coyotes at 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't need to be out in the neighborhood. They're running everywhere. And if you got a dog or a cat and you let it out in the middle of the night, it's gone.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just trying to look at the issue to make sure something don't happen to so many innocent kids or anything like that right there.
Yeah.
Because this is a major issue, it's going, and they keep multiplying and going on and stuff, and.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
Think
is.
about that.
It is.
needs to be thought about, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's just like the deer population, you know,
There ain't
we.
no deer around hardly no more because I think they're taking care of the deer, so.
Yeah.
Ain't no need to worry about the deer hardly no more.
Yeah.
The way I'm hearing that they got the blue tongue this year, so they're gonna call that off.
But contact Fish and Wildlife, and hopefully they can help you, okay?
Well, there's one other thing, the issue about the garbage still up there. Now, we've got an issue up here, and this is how bad it is. Everybody up there, it's out of control about the rodent issues. I mean, it's so bad up there.
Where you live, Don?
Up on the left fork. Now, it's so bad that everybody is getting eat up with rats. Now, this is how bad it is. And I'm having to buy decon and put it out every other week. And I've got little plug-in electrical things that.
Now, you're talking about trash. Is this trash people are throwing out beside the road,
I
or
don't
what are
know.
you,
I don't know
illegal
where-
dumps?
I don't know where it's being thrown out, you know, what they're doing or whatever, I don't know how. I just know there's a lot of rodents, a lot of rats and stuff.
Mhm.
And they're at every house, whatever, and stuff and this and that. And I've actually went the extra mile about getting this here extra stuff put out to try to get rid of them, eliminate them and everything. And all
I tell you, if there's old mine portals,
Yeah.
you'll have rats. If there's any old open mine portals, you'll have rats. It's, I'm from Wheelwright, trust me. I've seen rats carrying cats, you know.
Oh, yeah, I have to, yeah. But, I just wonder, if there's anything that can be done about that, whatever. And that was the issue that about when that brought that their dumpster issue up. Well, that was the whole reason why the dumpsters were set on fire, because they weren't dumped in time, when they should have been. They went for a month and a half not being dumped, and it's a full of garbage nut that came rat dens and everything, so they set on fire, get rid of all the rats. And that was the whole reason why they set the dumpsters on fire when we had the dumpsters. So, that was the whole issue about that when that happened at that time, so.
Yeah.
And whatever, you guys are doing a good job and everything, whatever, and I hope, everything gets straightened out up there on the fork, whatever.
We'll get it straightened
I
out.
think Ronnie, whatever, I hope you put a few gravel here and there and help widen out the road a little bit, in a few places, whatever, and doing a good job. I know you're up there working now, that's all that matters, what counts, and I thank you for working up there at the graveyard up there, because it needs it up there. Thank you.
Thank you all. We appreciate you coming out.
Let me have one more minute.
Come on up, Mr. McKinney, one more minute.
Joe, what they're done, they quit hauling that brush pretty well in there in the daytime. Now they're hauling in there late night. Done forever up in that port. So, just kind of got a little scared up. So they done away about all the signs, but they're bring the garbage and the brush still in there at night. Yeah, hauling around at night, throwing around wherever. So I just want to let you know, and see if we bust them up on that, if we can.
We'll send Joe up there.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate
Thank you all. Appreciate your comments. Sure do. We don't have anything for executive session. Any old business we want to discuss? Magistrates, anything you all want to discuss about what's going on? Mark, George? Nothing? All right, let's move on to new business. Resolution 1, transfers. Got a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Call roll, please.
District Master 1, Mark Fryler.
4.
District Master 2, George Easley.
Yes.
District 3, Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
District 4, Ronnie Akers.
4.
Next, we have, this is the claims list, Resolution 2. Mike made a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Gonna call roll, please.
I got a question there, Dave.
Let's do, okay.
Brent Grady's name's not on there. Is he still doing the,
I don't
grant
know.
writing or?
Brent took a full-time job with the city of Ashland as their,
No, he's no longer.
we no longer pay him to do grant writing.
Okay.
We're actually in discussions with the city of Prestonsburg and trying to get an individual we can share with them that's moved back here from Lexington. We just can't, we're trying to work on a number right now,
Okay.
because we need our own in-house grant writer. But he did take a job in Ashland, so he's no longer contracting for us.
Okay.
Master District 1, Mark Fryler.
4.
Master District 2, George Easley.
Yes.
Master District 3, Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
Master District 4, Ronnie Akers.
4.
Next is Resolution 3. This is the Mountain Comp grants.
Motion.
Jason will call roll, please.
Master District 1, Mark Fryler.
4.
Master District 2, George Easley.
Yes.
Master District 3, Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Akers.
4.
Next is Resolution 4. This is transfer of the sand tax to the sheriff's department.
Motion.
Second.
Jason will call roll, please.
We have, who's second?
Ronnie.
Master District 1, Mark Fryler.
4.
Master District 2, George Easley.
Yes.
Master District 3, Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
Master District 4, Ronnie Akers.
4.
Next is Resolution 5, hiring of the county road foreman.
Motion.
Second.
Jess, you want to call roll, please?
Master District 1, Mark Fryler.
4.
Master District 2, George Easley.
Yes.
Master District 3, Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
Ronnie Akers.
4.
And need a motion to table Resolution 6.
Motion. Second.
Jess, you want to call roll, please?
Mark Fryler.
4.
George Easley.
Yes.
Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
Ronnie Akers.
4.
Next is Resolution 7, adoption of the county road.
Motion.
Second.
Mark Fryler.
4.
George Easley.
Yes.
Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
Ronnie Akers.
4.
And next, we have equipment that we're surplusing.
Motion. Second.
Mark Fryler.
4.
George Easley.
Yes.
Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
Ronnie Akers.
4. Judge, you wanna tell Murray there the dates?
I'm sorry?
Tell Murray the dates there on that?
Oh, the day, she's got the resolution.
Oh,
You got it. She's got it. Mhm.
All right.
Are
Yeah,
we
we've
gonna
got-
put pictures of this, Robbie, on our page?
We
and
should,
Yeah,
we should get
information
some,
about-
Dale, we should get some
Or we can
pictures
get
and
it
get them to
out
Stephen,
there,
let's get them on her.
everybody.
Try to get some bids on. I know the stuff that was surplus back there, at the end of last year, they sell some of these cars for $200-300 when they were worth quite a bit more than that. So if we get them on our page, we can, maybe get some quality bids.
I had to cut the calls, but I didn't know the dates, so that's what I was.
Yeah, dates, let's see, it has, the bids have to be in by October the 10th is the last day for the bids.
Will they,
Get those to Anna.
will be accepting them right now?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah, they can start tomorrow.
yeah.
They can go look at
Where's
the
equipment gonna
the
be?
equipment, the equipment's located at the county garage. So we'll get, Dale, get some pictures. All they need to do is stop up there during regular business hours, they can look at the equipment. And if they want to put a bid in on it, they can. But we will try to get it on our Facebook page also, so we can get bids. Next is Resolution 9, that's the appointment to the Recreation Authority Board.
Motion.
Second.
Jason, will call roll, please?
Yes. Master District 3, Mike Tackett.
Yeah.
Master District 4, Ronnie Akers.
And next is Resolution 10, the fall cleanup, which Joe gave the dates on.
Second.
Master District 1, Mark Crider.
4.
Master District 2, George Easley.
Yes.
Master District 3, Mike Tackett.
Yeah.
Master District 4, Ronnie Akers.
And motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All right, thank you all. Appreciate everybody coming out. Bear, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, bud.